Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley, and it is time for News in Motion. It is Monday, people. It is Monday, June the 6th, 2022, and it is time for today's headlines. But let me know what you did this weekend. Rolling up in the room, say hello, give us some little insight of some great things you did. If you had any graduations or any weddings or whatever it is, go ahead and post those in the chat so we can congratulate whomever, cheer you on, or whatever may be happening. So y'all gotta talk to me. Come on in the chat. I see you, Latrice Jones. Good morning. What's up, Deborah Johnson? Good morning. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning to you. Any graduations, any weddings, any events that took place this past weekend that you want to share with the viewers, please let us know in the chat. So come in the room, do us a favor, y'all. I can tell by the timing that there's something off somewhere, but we're gonna pray that to make everything work out all right. Deborah said it was beautiful this weekend. I took walks and had fun with friends. I like that. Good morning, Deborah Sneak. Good morning to you. What else? Who else is out there doing some amazing things over the weekend? I actually chilled. I did. I chilled. I did go to a church service on yesterday since it was Pentecost Sunday and had a great time in worship. But let us know what you've done. I can see the viewers are coming in slow. Let me help everyone with this. Good morning, Adrian. Every now and then, probably every 2 to 3 months, you have to re-hit the alert so that the alerts come on, because after a while, Facebook stops sending the alerts for some strange reason. So every now and then you have to go back in and hit the alert so you get the bell and know that News in Motion is coming on. I see you, Adrian. I see you. Any vendor events this past weekend, Adrian? Latrice Jones, what you do this past weekend? Oh, she put it in there. My amazing weekend consisted of rest, rest, rest. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. Good morning, Dr. Antoinette. Good morning to all of you. I need all of you to do me a favor. I need y'all to send those impressions. Excuse me, it is allergy season. And I need you all to share it so that the algorithm can work here. Good morning, Regina Shorts. Good morning to you. It's sad that we have to do these things, but hey, we're on this platform. It's a good platform to have and to use to get the information out. And we just want to continue the work that we are doing and how we are doing it. Thank you, Latrice Jones, for sharing it. All right, y'all, we got a lot of news, so we just can't sit here and hang out. But I did. I rested this weekend. I watched a few. I watched for the longest. I would not watch Greenleaf. I don't know why. Maybe because we were in a church. My husband and I are pastors, and I just been a church kid all my life. But I watched it. I started watching it a few weeks ago, and I finished the series on Saturday, and I cried at the end. I'm like, why am I crying? This isn't real. But there was so much in it that was, you could relate to. Other stuff, I just think it was storylines. But that's what I did. And it was just interesting, that process. So if you ever want to watch something like that, Deborah says she loved Greenleaf. Dr. Antoinette said Greenleaf was fire. What's up, Diane Ladybug? Well, that's just my 2 cents when it comes to Greenleaf. There was, like, in the beginning, I thought it was great. But right there, no spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it, but what was it? Episode or season 4, it kind of like, I was like, get done with this storyline, please. And then season 5, it was like, come on, y'all, let's get through this. But then the last 2 episodes of that season, I thought were just absolutely just amazing. Just amazing. All right, y'all. Good morning, John Gore. Good morning. Okay, y'all coming at me with Greenleaf. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Y'all, we got a lot of news to talk about, so we're going to get to that. So let's do what we do. Let's get started. All right, y'all, it is a wrap. It is a wrap. Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee, the Queen 70 years on the throne. At the age of 96 years old, the monarch had this to say in a statement on the final day of festivities, decked out in her green, looking good, standing on the balcony. This is what she had to say. When it comes to how to mark 70 years as your queen, there is no guidebook to follow. It really is a first. But I have been humbled and deeply touched that so many people have taken to the streets to celebrate my Platinum Jubilee. While I may not have attended every event in person, my heart has been with you all, and I remain committed to serving you to the best of my abilities, supported by my family. And then she did this. Y'all, yeah, that's her. She's like, listen, again, in her own statement, don't get it twisted. I ain't going nowhere. You may not have seen me, but I was in the background working it. I made sure that my grandson and his wife just showed out. I don't care what y'all gotta say. Meghan Markle walked up in that church like, what? What? She was fly. She was clean. I cannot say what I shared with some of you privately through a text message, but Meghan Markle walked in there. They had their own procession. Like, what? Hello, I'm back. What you gonna do about it? And you may see me tomorrow, you may not, but right now, all eyes are on me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. There is a video that's gone viral of Kate Middleton, who happened to look over and she went, wow. And everyone said her words were, wow. Yeah, girl, wow. You know, she got it. And you just wish you had it like she had it, with you sitting up there like you're not happy. And then if you watch some of the other video of where Kate says, wow, you see Prince William like shaking his head, telling her no to stop. And it's like, that's out there. It's like, now y'all on TV, so we see what y'all really thinking. But whatever, I really hope that the brothers do get back together and that Kate realized she may get some places if she would hang with Meghan. But that's what happened, y'all. And let's not get it twisted, because Piers Morgan and Fox News and their commentary was making everybody mad. He is so fixated on Meghan. She didn't want you. She had some drinks with you. She realized you weren't right. You put her in the cab. She was probably like saying, oh, thank you, God. And then she went to a party and she met Harry. Don't be mad, Pierce. You just didn't have what it takes to connect with her. Y'all ain't a match anyway. But you just cannot stop talking about her. You are so obsessed with her. It is ridiculous. So then you lied. You put out there that everybody booed them. No, they were booing Boris Johnson, the prime minister, which, by the way, today is the day he's facing a confidence vote. I first was like, what? But I'm actually watching another series on Netflix called Borgen. And on there, they're having a confidence vote. That's how they do things. We should have had a confidence vote with the former guy, because he would have been long gone. But anyway, so y'all, Prime Minister Boris Johnson will face a no confidence vote today that could oust him from power, as discontent with the rule finally threatened to topple the politician who is often seen invincible despite many scandals. Isn't that somebody else we know here in America? Now, if he loses the vote among the 359 conservative lawmakers, the party will choose a new leader who will immediately become prime minister. If he wins, which some people say he more than likely will win, he cannot face another challenge for a year under the current party rules. So that's happening when we're talking about England. All right, y'all, are we buying votes? What? I don't know if you've seen all the news out there, but check it out. Atlanta Constitute Journal, or maybe it's Journal Constitute, AJ, Atlanta Journal Constitute. As the grand jury is seeking to place in Georgia regarding, those votes that the former guy wanted Georgia Secretary of State to look for. Now, his pick, Herschel Walker, the GOP nominee who will run against Raphael Warnock on November the 8th, was giving away $25 gas vouchers. Hello. To raise awareness of Warnock's role in increasing gas prices. First of all, Raphael Warnock, this is where we have to become educated voters. He cannot raise gas prices. Here's the truth, y'all. The president of the United States cannot raise gas prices. It is what's happening in the economy. That's how those numbers continue to change. And if you really pay attention, every president had times that they had high gas prices and times that they had low. It is all a part of the economy. That's what it is. But there was girls out there with signs, beautiful Black girls out there with signs talking about Warnock and gas prices, and he increased these prices. Well, some stuff hit the fan over the weekend because there was long lines in Atlanta, Georgia, where they were trying to pass out these gas prices, and people were lined up. They gave away $4,000 worth of gas. The vouchers were given without condition. No prospective recipient was required to register to vote, to support or oppose any particular candidate, or to appear in advertisements. That's what the lawmakers sent. Yeah, that's Statecraft PLLC on behalf of Walker, because they were trying to now go into crisis management. Well, no, that's not so true, people, because they were passing out flyers talking about vote for Warnock. They were passing out voter registration cards. You little fishy here. Now, these are images. Well, we don't have them here because we didn't get the permission to use them. But there were images of people passing out not only the vouchers, but the flyers, bottled water. Hello, somebody, and stuff. They were having cards talking about to vote against Warnock. Okay, so with that said, isn't there a bill signed into law in Georgia by the governor, Kemp, in reference to restrictions on giving out water and food to voters in line, saying it could possibly be vote buying? I think I read something about that somewhere. Well, how is this different? What would happen if Warnock would have done this? I really want to hear from y'all. What are y'all thinking about this? Because I'm like, what is happening? And they just continue to do and like whatever. So that's what happened, y'all, over the weekend. Now, some people that was being interviewed later said, I was just getting gas. They gave me a $25 gift certificate voucher for gas. I was just getting gas. Kim Edmondson said, what kind of mess is that? That's what I'm talking about. Seriously. Good morning, Sardinia. Good morning, Judy. But that's what they were saying. I'm going, that's vote buying. I don't care how you chop this up. That is buying votes, because you were still passing out flyers and you still had people with some sort of protest sign. And then you're saying that he raised gas prices. Educated voters, he can't raise the gas prices. He don't have that kind of power. He does not have that kind of power. Jeffrey Allen James said he would have just overlooked it. Listen, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So y'all, this is where we are. This is what's happening. Now, y'all, as that's happening, the story continues. The byline reads, on January 5th, 2021, a Pence aide warned the Secret Service that President Trump could turn against the vice president, creating a security risk. That's what's happening. Wait a minute. John Gore said, I would have taken the voucher and said, thank you. Cherie says, sounds like they're buying votes to me, Gail. Jeffrey Allen James says, Herschel should stop once and for all, retire. Well, they're actually saying that he should be removed from the ballot because that is vote buying. So I don't know. That's the story. Now, here's the other thing I thought was very interesting. I got this story because, of course, I have people live in Atlanta, Georgia, and they're letting me know this. So I went looking for it. Only the Atlanta Journal-Constitute had this story. And then their local news was showing people in line receiving the vouchers and talking with people. Why didn't the national media pick this up? And why aren't more people talking about it? Because these are the types of things that they start one place and then you'll start seeing them happen in other places. And we need to be on the lookout for things like this, y'all. This is a part of being a constituent and a part of being um, uh, open to understanding what's happening when it comes to voting. There's no way this should happen. No way. And because here's the other part, if it was okay, his attorneys would not have had to have issued a statement with all of this information out there. So we have to be very mindful of what's happening. Dr. Antoinette said, take the gas card and still take your happy self to vote for Warnock. There's that. So y'all, yes, New York is reporting Maggie Haberman. And by the way, she can be a Trump supporter, and then she's not, and then she is, then she's not, and then she is, and then she's not. So she put this out here. Now, they say a day before the mob, the insurrection of President Donald Trump, J. Trump's, and I'm quoting this, only reason why I'm saying his name, supporters stormed the Capitol on January the 6th. Vice President Mike Pence, Chief of Staff, called Mr. Pence lead Secret Service agent to his West Wing office. And he said, listen, this is what's happening. So y'all, lots unfolding there. Then in the news, New York Times is also reporting Peter Navarro, the White House advisor to Donald Trump, was charged with the contempt of Congress for defying a subpoena from the January 6th inquiry. Now, here's what people are really fighting back with. Our DOJ will not go after Mark Meadows. Now, personally, I'm thinking there was some sort of arrangement back there as to the reason why he is not under contempt as well. Now, Navarro, he was indicted for 2 counts of criminal contempt and a maximum sentence of a year in prison, as well as $100,000 fine. So there is some movement. There is some movement, but I don't know about what you're going to be doing. But on each evening, I'm going to have my popcorn, and I'm going to be tuned in to primetime television, because the January 6th House Select Committee investigating the attacks on the Capitol last January will hold televised hearings starting this evening. Y'all, feature live witness accounts, never before seen video footage, and pre-taped interviews with the former guy's family members about the insurrection. Man, I don't know what's going to be in there, but we need to be tuned in to see what's happening. All right, y'all, tomorrow, June the 7th, California, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, South Dakota. This is your primary. If you have not already early vote in your area, make sure you turn out tomorrow. Now, on behalf of my friend, Samaria Bay, who was with us a few weeks ago, who lives in California. She and I have been talking back and forth. Y'all, I need those of you in California to make sure you do your homework, especially when it comes to the LA mayor. I cannot tell you here who to vote for, but I can say to do your homework. You can go to ballotpedia.org to do your homework. You can also pull up different LA Times articles and other articles. Do your homework. Rick J. Caruso, who is running for election for mayor of Los Angeles in California, y'all do y'all's homework. He changed parties to the Democratic Party in January 2022 when he decided he wanted to run for mayor. That's who he is. So y'all do your research. Why did he change? Who is his friend? Hello, somebody. Who's his friend? Who does he make business deals with? Y'all, come on. We talked about this a few weeks ago, that people are starting to change parties just to get in to do what they want to do. Hello? What's his name? Manchin, is that his name? Is his name Manchin? Now, he says he's a Democrat, but does he vote that way? Krista Sinema, she says she's a Democrat, but does she vote that way? Who else has changed parties? Do your homework, people. Do your homework. Again, California, Iowa, Mississippi, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, South Dakota. Your primaries are tomorrow. Also, Supreme Court. The court's 2021-22 term ends in the next month, but it still has 33 opinions or let's just say 53% of its expected output to issue. Now we're all waiting on one particular to find out if the confirmed authentic draft from Alito, Justice Alito ruling on the abortion case would mean an end to Roe v. Wade. That's one. But y'all, there are 32 more. You can find out what those 32 are. I was going to give them to you, and I was like, no, I'm not, because I believe in y'all doing y'all's homework. Just go to the Supreme Court website and see what all 33 are that they're going to still roll out. All right, y'all. AP is reporting days after, and I guess this was shots fired or a warning sign or something, days after the Biden administration announced plans to deliver the $700 million of medium and long-range rocket systems and other security assistance to Ukraine. Old dude Putin sent out this warning. He warned the West against sending longer-range rocket systems during an interview that was aired on Sunday. He sent out a warning, like, don't y'all do that. I'm like, y'all, just make sure as you sending stuff over to somebody else that you got our stuff in place. Because he said, I'm warning you, don't do that. Don't you send nothing nowhere. Let me see what y'all are saying. Y'all are cracking me up in here. All right, y'all. Sad news. Well, all of this news is somewhat sad, except for the Queen. More than 50 people are feared dead in southwest Nigeria after gunmen opened fire and detonated explosives at a Catholic church where worshipers had gathered on Pentecost Sunday for Mass, and AP is reporting that. Again, y'all, more than 50 people are feared dead in southwestern Nigeria. That story is still unfolding. We will bring you more information on that as we go along. Y'all, NPR reports, and this is their direct quote, a string of shootings left at least 15 people dead and more than 60 others wounded in 8 states this weekend. I'm going to give you 3. In Pennsylvania, police say multiple shooters fired into a crowd late Saturday night on South Street, a famous Philadelphia drag known as nightlife character and vibrancy. Authorities said 3 people were killed by gunfire and at least 11 others were wounded. Police said multiple handguns were recovered on the scene, but no arrests have been made. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, police responded early Sunday to a shooting near a nightclub. 3 people were killed and 14 others were injured, according to Police Chief Celeste Murphy. 2 people died from gunshot wounds, while a third person died of injuries after being hit by a vehicle. Y'all, in South Carolina, at least 8 people were shot at a graduation party in what authorities in Clarendon County described as a suspected drive-by shooting. A 32-year-old woman was killed. 7 others were wounded. 6 of the 7 injured were 17 or younger, age 17 or younger, as authority says. Police says that this shooting was possibly gang-related. Now, y'all, a 14-year-old girl was killed and 8 others were injured during a shooting early Saturday in at a Phoenix Strip mall. The Associated Press reported 9 people were hospitalized, including a 14-year-old girl who later died. 2 women were transported with life-threatening injuries. Y'all, 156 days into 2022, at least 240 mass shootings. Mass shootings also happened this weekend in Texas, Georgia, New York, and Michigan, all this past weekend, according to the Gun Violence Archive, a group that tracks mass shootings. So we are at 156 days into 2022, and the country has seen at least 246 mass shootings, according to the group's tally. That puts, I want y'all to hear this, that puts U.S. on track for one of the deadliest years on record since the archive began tracking gun deaths. Now, y'all, the site defines a mass shooting as an incident in which 4 or more people are killed or injured by a gun. That's a whole lot, and I save that to the end before I bring on Kenny, just to get us to think about legislation and voting. So again, to the 7 states that are voting in their primaries tomorrow, think about this. What do you want to see? How do you want this to change the narrative of what we're living with day in and day out? Because our vote matters, your voice matters, but we have to get out and vote and not try to have somebody buy our votes by issuing a $25 gas voucher or $50 gas voucher or rent for the month or whatever that is. We got to get to the bottom of who is best suited for these offices so that things can happen for the good of the constituents and the people within the United States of America. Along with that, we talked about Ukraine, we talked about long range missiles, we talked about the missile system, excuse me, we talked about Putin, we talked about Nigeria. We can't sit back and say, "Oh, that doesn't pertain to us." It does. It pertains to us because in those chambers, they make decisions as to who they're going to fund, how they're going to fund, and where they're sending money. But I come back to this: as you're sending money, what about the 45 million, including 13 children who are food insecure? What about them? Are we making sure that they're being fed? What about those who are homeless? What about those who are facing foreclosure? What about those who have lost their jobs? And we have all of these jobs out there, but people are saying they're applying, but they're not getting hired. So what's the deal behind that? I would love to have somebody do a story on that. What's the deal behind that? Why aren't they getting hired when you're offering these bonuses, 2,500, 5,000 or more? $50 an hour, and people are applying. They're saying they're applying, but they're being turned down for the jobs. Why is it? What's the disconnect? These are the questions we need to be asking within our town hall meetings, checking in on our representatives, our lawmakers, and also asking these same questions to those who are running for office. Y'all, a lot we have to continue to unpack. But while we are doing that, I guess it's heating up on the basketball court. I don't know. I'm not watching, but let's hear now from Kenny Stanley. What's up?
Hey, what's happening, people?
How are
How y'all
you?
doing? I'm good. I'm good. It's
Good.
Monday.
Hey, well, take it away.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, News and Motion family. How y'all doing today? I pray everybody had a great weekend. Hey, it looks like this daggone NBA Finals gonna live up to the hype. The playoffs done brought us so far, and this is looking good. I thought Golden State might be in trouble, but they bounced back after they had an embarrassing defeat this past Thursday when they when they had a 12-point lead and then they fell to Boston, one blowing a 12-point lead and losing by 12, 120 to 108. Boston came in the Golden State's arena and just did them in. But Golden State bounced back yesterday. They won by 19 points, beating Boston 107 to 88. It's going to be a great series. I picked Golden State in 6, but the way it's looking, it's going to go all 7 games. That's the way it's looking right now. But I do have a question. Can somebody please tell me where Klay Thompson is? He's a shell of himself since he's been back. I've been looking for him to show up all season, and every night he shows glimpses, but he doesn't look the same. He was so cold last night, 4 for 15 shooting. I'm surprised when they set him on the bench that his butt hit the seat because he couldn't hit a basket last night. But he goes on. In other NBA news, the Los Angeles Lakers hired their 28th head coach in franchise history, Darvin Ham. He's a former assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks, and he looked like he may be the guy. Could he be the one to take the Lakers back to the championship? We'll see, because he's a no-nonsense coach. It's either his way or the highway. So that goes for everybody on the team. You're either going to do it his way or goodbye, including LeBron. Don't make no difference. In the NFL news, Alexander Roseborough, your boy Frank Gore, has signed a one-day contract and will retire as the San Francisco 49ers, as a San Francisco 49er. Drafted in the third round out of Miami, he will go on to finish his career with 16,000 rushing yards, placing him third on the all-time rushing list behind Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton. In the NHL, the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the New York Rangers 3-2, but are still down 2-1 in the series as they fight to see who's going to represent the East in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Colorado Avalanche can wrap up their Western Conference Finals tonight as they go for the sweep against the Edmonton Oilers. In tennis, teenage phenom Coco Gauff fell short in winning her first Grand Slam title at the French Open as she fell to, I can't pronounce her name, Iga Swiatek, 6-1, 6-3. On the men's side, Rafael Nadal won his 14th French Open title as he beat Casper Ruud in straight sets 6-3, 6-3, 6-0. In boxing news, it looks like the U.S. is starting to show their dominance once again in every weight category except heavyweight. Darvin Haney became the undisputed lightweight champ on this past Saturday by beating George Camboso Jr. to capture all the belts in the lightweight division. I'm going to continue to say this until she's free. Free Brittany Griner. She has been detained for over 100 days. That's too long in a Russian jail. She's been able lately, though, to receive letters and emails after her attorney prints them out and they get vetted by the Russian officials. She doesn't have access to an email account, but her lawyer can dictate. Her lawyer can take dictation for what she wants to say, or if she has paper and pencil, she can write it out. They can take a picture of it and then able to send it. So please keep Brittany Griner in your prayers and get her free. We got to get her out of jail. We got to get her back here in the United States. That's sports. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Back to Gail for more news.
Thank you so much for that. And I want to share, I'm glad you brought up Brittany Griner. I want to share that with everyone as well. We have to continue. I know there's times I do a call to action and we all respond, but there are some things you have to say, okay, still no word on this, so let's keep reaching out to our lawmakers. No one says you can only have one call to your lawmaker. You can call every day. You can call 5 times a day. You can call 20 times a day. You can send emails 30 times a day. We cannot let that up. We cannot let that up. Yeah. So thank you so much for reporting that. I hear that the games are good. I have not watched one finals.
You got to turn on. You got to turn it on, Gail.
I hear it's just amazing.
You got to turn it on. They balling. They are balling out of control.
Well, thank you so much, Kenny, for all you do for News and Motion. Right. We'll see you Wednesday.
I see y'all Wednesday.
Okay. Hey, y'all, listen. This is before I get to the inspirational message, I have a couple announcements. The first announcement is this. Y'all, our 2-year anniversary is June the 22nd, 2022. Can y'all believe that? The second anniversary on June the 22nd, 2022. So there's something there with the 2. So we're just going to celebrate in our own way. We're going to give news as normal, but we're going to also have a few surprises. So make sure you are tuning in daily. Can't tell you what it is, but make sure you're tuning in daily. The other thing that I want to announce is that after a lot of prayer, you've heard me talk about it here and there. I reached out on Wednesday, June the 1st, to our previous contributing authors on Ready Publication. We're going to do a special edition of Ready Publication that will release on September the 1st. We have our many of our our regular contributors, our older contributors of Ready Publication who has said they're in, so they're ready and starting to write. We have some new writers that hopefully will come and join us. We have other people. We have so many people that have agreed to come alongside us with this special edition. We're going to talk all politics. The theme is called Ready to Vote. People, Prayer, Politics, Democracy. So we're going to let you know how you can start pre-ordering that publication, how you can get a stack of them and put at your local corner store, barbershop, salons, things like that. What we're trying to do, we have someone who's thinking about investing to get, because they're saying we want to see this magazine as in many places as possible where people need to vote. So we're going to need your help getting that out there in all of these viewers areas that we're at. We're trying to get them out there. We're trying to partner with all these to get them there as well. No one will have to pay for the magazine at those locations. They can just pick it up, but it's going to be filled with articles. If you've never read an issue of Ready publication, we haven't had one in 2 years since we're now going in 3 years since the pandemic. But people say that that's the first time in years that they've read content from beginning to end. We have very few advertisements in the publication because we want nothing but straight content. And that's what we pride ourselves on. So look for that, y'all. The book is coming out. The book, again, is titled People. It's titled People, Politics, and Prayer. But something about that setup doesn't ring to me. I think I needed People, Prayer, Politics. So weigh in on the chat if it should be People, Prayer, Politics, or People, Politics, Prayer. They were looking at it in alphabetical order to go People, Politics, and Prayer. But I want prayer, I think, in the middle. So let us know what you think. I'll be looking at that as well. So those are 2 of the announcements that we wanted to put out, or 3 of the announcements we wanted to put out there. The other thing is congratulations to all graduates. There's a lot of graduates. We want to say congratulations to you. John Gore's grandson, I call him my nephew. He graduated over the weekend from high school. The dude, oh gosh, I can't think of what his title was. John, put it in there. What he had one of them high titles, y'all, when he graduated. So I'm just so proud and excited for Mario and the work that he's doing. I'm excited to see his life and what's happening next for him. He is going off to college soon, so we just want to continue to pray for him as well. There's some weddings that are coming up. I believe Felicia's wedding is either this weekend or next weekend. So congratulations to Felicia and her fiance. Y'all, there's a lot that's happening, and I'm just asking us all to be safe. And with that, okay, Kim Edmondson says, People, Politics, Prayer. That's what I keep hearing. Prayer is the bridge between the two. That's what I hear Adrian saying. Okay, prayer in the center. Okay, so now it's gonna make it more confusing. I like People, Prayer, Politics. So y'all ain't helping me. I just knew I would get a slew of one side here, but that's not what's happening. So we will continue to see, and we'll just see when it comes out, when the cover comes out again. Nikki Burton is doing the cover. I'm real excited about that. Amber Mabry will be doing the designing of the magazine, as she's done for us for many years. So we're excited about that. John Gore, 3.96, going to Norfolk State University. Yes. I'm so proud of him, John. So proud of him. All right, y'all, here's the inspirational message, prayer. In times like these, we must pray. We must pray. We must pray. I believe, and the word says, the prayers of the righteous availeth much. We must pray. We must pray. The reason I say we must pray is because there's so many incidents that are happening. There's so much that's out here, and we're in this like weird space that only prayer will be able to make that change for us. If nothing more, to give us hope and a future and help just to get through the day. I was running into someone, it was Friday. I was out. I don't even know where I was, but I was somewhere on Friday. And this lady had been sitting in her car. So I got the car. She says, good morning. And I said, good morning. But she said, and then, I'm thinking, oh, she was sitting there waiting. And she says, I hope you don't mind. I was just waiting to see a friendly face get out the car. And your face was friendly. And I felt safe enough to get out the car and to walk into the store. And I said, really? And I stopped because I wanted to hear what she had to say. And she says, it took me a long time to even leave my house today. I was wondering, is today the day I'm going to face a shooter in the grocery store? or a shooter in a department store, or a shooter in the doctor's office. She just went on. And she was an older woman. And I said, I said, I understand the concern. I said, because after the Tops grocery store shooting in Buffalo, I felt the same way. I said, but here's what I do know, that we cannot live each day in fear. We can't do that. We have to go on about our lives, but we also have to be aware of our surroundings. I'm in a family that my brother-in-law is heavy in police. He's a retired police officer in two different cities. He's done Secret Service, he's done SWAT, he's done some other things. And so when we were together a couple of weeks ago, I was like, why are we sitting in the car? He says, because he goes, that's the number one thing we say. Sit in the car, check out your surroundings. He goes, just 60 seconds, check out and see what's happening, see who's coming in and out. Then get out. He goes, when you walking up to a store or restaurant or whatever, he said, what we're learning to do and what we teach people is check and see what it is. He said, check to see all your exits. And I said, man, that's too much. I said, that would drive me crazy. He said, but that could also save your life. I said, wow. He said, these are things that we teach. And he's been in it for years. And he knows, again, he's done Secret Service. He said, this is how we do this. He said, we check, we look, we watch. He said, and you can't be paranoid and you can't say, oh, what they're getting out their purse or what they're getting out their trunk. He said, not that. Just look and see. He said, you can see who's casing the place. You can see if people are communicating with somebody else. And he said, you can see all types of things if you would just park. He said, the other thing, and I thought this was very interesting. He said, so often we pull into spots. He said, in some places, depending upon the location, you back into spots. He said, because then you have a clearance of leaving. He goes, you also have to determine where you're going to park. He said, people want to park closest to the door. He said, don't do that. He said, that gives you exercise as well. He said, park further away from the door. He said, and then park off to the side of a door to where you see the door in a diagonal. He said, because then you can see everything that's going on around you. I share that for safety. But I also share that to say, y'all, we just have to be aware, but don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And that's why I say again, we must pray. Y'all, a lot is going on, and we have to have each other's back. So if you have tips or thoughts or anything like that, let us know. Post them in the thread. If there's anything that you've learned, post it in the thread. This is a community. It's news in motion. We bring you highlights. We bring you voter education. Again, we are aggregated news source that's pulling from different news sources, sharing it. Someone asked a question to us over the weekend through an email. They said, I come to you because you're giving us what you feel is most important. And they said, so how do you pull from all of these? What makes you pull the things that you're pulling? And I pull the things that I'm pulling because I know by now the heartbeat, the pulse of the community and the viewers in which we engage with on a daily basis, Monday through Thursday. And the person said, well, it's been spot on. They said they don't watch the other news. I said, well, be careful with that. I said, because you want to also have diversity when it comes to news. And they said, but you give us the facts, no spin. They go, you have fun. You find fun in news. I said, I don't know if I find fun in news, but I am trying to bring you nothing but facts. And I enjoy doing what I enjoy doing. The other thing I want to share with all of you that we learned, y'all know we're fair and balanced for the most part, but I know we kind of lean to the left with many of our viewers. We have an older couple who has been watching us since the elections of 2020. So almost the 2 years. And I learned last week that they're older people and they are from the Republican Party. And I said, great. And found out that they said that they have now been thinking and researching and looking at different news sources and different articles to balance what it is that they're doing. And they sent us a thank you letter saying, thank you for giving us that balance in what it is that you do. So y'all, again, if we're only reaching one couple or one person or a few people, I believe we're doing the job that we're supposed to be doing. And I'm excited about it. I'm absolutely excited about it. If you have not already mark your calendars for November the 8th. That date is our midterm elections. Voting early will begin for many places in late September, early October. You need to check your Secretary of State's office for all the information that you need. As we get information, we will put that out there. We're still looking for News in Motion ambassadors who will report that news to us. You can just send us an email like, hey, this is happening in my city, my state, so we can then dig into it and make sure we're bringing it here. Our replays are more than we can ask or imagine. So people are tuning in. They may not be tuning in live, but they are tuning in. But again, if it's just us, we can make a difference within this world. All right, y'all. Until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. This has been your News in Motion. Y'all know what I say. Y'all stay well. And remember, make some bold moves, people. Make some bold moves. I'm still looking at some of what you all are saying, and I will consider all of them. But until that time, I'll let y'all know midweek what the title's going to be. So have a great day.